What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak, and this is the 2020 NFL season opener episode. The Texans at the Chiefs. As we break down this game that happened last night. Really good game, lots of action. I mean, the Chiefs pulled away, and it was looking to be a blowout, but the Texans kind of came back and made it respectable, the final score. But Chiefs looking next level with their rookie running back and all that. But let's get into it. I mean, Chiefs are one of two teams in the NFL allowing fans at their games to start the season. The Jacksonville Jaguars are the other team. Last night the Chiefs had they're allowing about 22% capacity, equaling to around 16,000 fans in the stadium. That are required to wear masks and social distancing, stuff like that. Great to see and hear the fans in the game when they're not booing equality, at least. It was nice to hear, authentic fan sounds. They were actually pretty loud in this game at times. And, it's just cool to see fans at the games. And I hope that more teams follow suit as the season gets going. Me being a Chicago Bears fan, I'm really hoping that they allow fans at Bears games in October, because I'm trying to go see the Bucks at the Bears on Thursday night. I think that'll be a really good game. But anyways, let's get into this one. Before the game started, the players came out to midfield, players from both teams, and locked arms, and the Chiefs PA asked the fans to join the teams in a moment of silence dedicated to the ongoing fight for equality in our country. It was a great gesture by the NFL and these teams, and I very much support any movement for equality, as we all should, I believe. Unfortunately, some Kansas City fans did boo, bringing us to question, kind of their character. What kind of person has a problem with equality for all? That's un-American as hell, if you ask me. But anyways, that's my take on it. Let's get into this game. So the Texans get the ball first to start the game. But, in my prediction, I said, you're going to see a little bit of rust, I think, with no preseason games at all. This is the first actual action on a football field, real live bullets. And so they did show signs of rust. Deshaun Watson's first pass attempt was dropped by wide receiver Kenny Stills, followed by a false start on second-year tackle Titus Howard. That pass by Watson to Kenny Stills was a perfectly thrown ball. Hit him right, where it needed to be, but Stills unable to bring it in. Now Watson has to deal with, because of the false start after that, has to deal with a 3rd and long right off the bat. The very next play, a 3rd and 10, right tackle Titus Howard gets beat by Chiefs defensive end Frank Clark, which forces Watson to get rid of the ball on a check down, and it's incomplete. 3 and out to start the game. Not a great start for the Texans, and you see Titus Howard getting exposed multiple times on the opening, a penalty, and then gets beat. So not great for the Texans offensive line, which a lot of people anticipated the Texans O-line to be much better this year, as you'll see through. And if you watch this game, or if you're checking it out now, they weren't that much better. They were actually struggling quite a bit. Right out of the gate. So for the Chiefs, they get the ball right out of the gate. 2 runs by the Chiefs, by the rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. On 3rd and 5, Patrick Mahomes recognizes the Texans' defense blitzing, gets the ball out quick to his hot route, and hits his receiver in stride, leading him towards the first down marker. Elite quarterback play. It's small, yet it's the small details that separate wins and losses in the NFL. And the things that you take for granted are Mahomes' ability to see the blitz coming, first of all, before he even snaps the ball. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows that it's coming. So he recognizes that, knows where his hot route is, knows who the safety blanket guy is, gets it to him quick, leads him in stride, and so the running back's able to catch the ball, and continue running towards. He's running towards the first down, catches the ball in stride, and able to keep on running towards the first down. Those are small things that lead to a first down. Other quarterbacks that aren't as talented as Mahomes might, not lead him here, or might not even know the blitz is coming at all and take a sack. They might get the ball out, but throw it behind the running back, so he has to turn around and catch it, then gets tackled short of the first down. So there's a lot of small details in the that separate wins and losses, and Mahomes excels in those small details. As well as the big details. Texans defense lucky to not give up an opening drive touchdown on a perfectly located pass from Mahomes to wide receiver Demarcus Robinson in the end zone. Robinson unable to hang on to the catch, with Houston defenders wrapping him up on the way of the ground. Obvious incompletion on replay. The ball was in his hands, but it was moving, not quite secure, and loose all the way to the ground until it actually hit the ground in the end zone. So a clear incompletion. You could see it on replay, and good on the NFL to get the call right. Texans linebacker Jacob Martin beats Chiefs right tackle Mitchell Schwartz and gets a sack on Mahomes, forcing a 3rd and 18. Schwartz did not give up a single pressure in the 2019 playoffs, but gets beat here. This Jacob Martin sack on the Chiefs' first drive of the game would be their only sack of the game. Mahomes had star tight end Travis Kelce open, but was unable to see him due to the immediate pressure. Mahomes' pass on 3rd and 18 is inaccurate and incomplete, and the Texans' defense forces a punt on the Chiefs' first possession. Anytime you can force the Chiefs into a punt, it's a win. This offense is so explosive that they don't punt the ball often. New Chiefs rookie punter Tommy Townsend's first punt is a touchback. Longtime Chief punter Dustin Colquitt, who had been on the team since 2005, was released this offseason and is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. So now you got rookie punter Tommy Townsend in there for the Chiefs. On the Texans' second possession, Deshaun Watson's first completion of the game goes to tight end Darren Fells, resulting in a Texans' first down of the game. New addition running back David Johnson fitting in nicely to start the game. A couple good reads, good runs, a nice screen reception, and run for another first down. The Texans' coaching and game plan going into 2020 is a little bit different than the past. They're trying to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. The last couple of years, you see a lot of Deshaun Watson magic where he's buying time in the pocket, running around, avoiding sacks, and then, doing something magical, throwing downfield. They're trying to eliminate all that, get the ball out quicker, get Watson hit a lot less going forward, and run more of a New England type offense where, with Brady, it's like get the ball, throw it. Get the ball, throw it. You know where you're going before, the play even starts, really. You got hot routes all over the field. And that's what the Texans are trying to do. Watson does make a really nice play on this drive. Completes a jump pass to wide receiver Brandon Cooks. The quarterbacks with that kind of arm talent don't need perfect footwork. And as you see here from Watson, he's in the air as he throws it. But when you have that elite arm talent, you can make throws without the footwork, without, the fundamentals. You can do the shit that's just wild, that makes everyone, open their eyes like, holy shit. So then David Johnson eludes multiple defenders on his way to a 19-yard touchdown run, and the Texans score first in this game, going up 7-0. The 19-yard run by David Johnson is longer than any run he had in the 2019 season with the Cardinals. So a good start for David Johnson in his Texans career. Touchdown right off the bat. On 3rd and 2 from their own 35-yard line for the Chiefs, running back Darrell Williams runs for 1 yard and unable to pick up the first down. So a gutsy call early as head coach Andy Reid decides to go for it on 4th and inches from his own 36-yard line. It'd be a big mistake if they didn't get it. But they give it to fullback Anthony Sherman. He's able to pick up a yard and get the first down. Like I said, ballsy call. I know you have an explosive offense, but I would have punted it. The fact that I do have an explosive offense, if I'm the Chiefs, if I'm Andy Reid, would give me the mindset to be like, I can punt it here, and we're going to still end up getting 30 points in this game. But in my opinion, it was too early in the game for such a risky decision. Being on your own 36, you don't get that. That's great field position for the Texans to go potentially up 2 scores. But they execute, pick up the first down, so I can't hate on it because it worked. Chris Collinsworth was saying he thinks more teams should go for it on 4th downs. I disagree. I think there's a place to go for it, but not early in the game. It all depends. And I'm not a huge fan of going for it on 4th down because possessions are so valuable in this league, and turnovers often dictate who wins games. Look at the turnover battle, and that's usually the deciding factor. Chiefs rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire killing it already in the first quarter of this game. A nice block by their new guard Kelechi Osemele frees up Edwards-Helaire for an 18-yard run down to the Houston 21-yard line. At the end of the first quarter, it's still 7-0 Texans. And like I predicted on this podcast for the preview, no preseason. We expected a slow start to the year, and just 7 points in the first quarter. So 7-0. We start the second quarter. Patrick Mahomes hits a diving Demarcus Robinson in the face mask in the end zone, but he's unable to make the catch, setting up 3rd and goal. That's a catch that Robinson's got to make, and it was a perfectly thrown ball by Mahomes. Maybe just slightly off, but it hit him in the face mask. As a receiver, you got to make that catch. The next play, Mahomes hits Travis Kelce in the end zone just as he's coming open. Perfectly timed throw to make it look easy. Touchdown Chiefs. They tie the game at 7-7. Let's see here. Chiefs star defensive tackle Chris Jones, fresh off his new 4-year, $80 million deal, beats Texans guard Zach Fulton and gets to Deshaun Watson for the sack, proving he's worth the money right off the bat. Week 1, forcing Houston into a 3rd and long. You don't usually think of defensive tackles as pass rushers, but Chris Jones has been one throughout his career. Always got good sack numbers. On 3rd and 10, the Chiefs pass rush again, getting to Watson, who scrambles out and rushes for 6 yards on 3rd and 10, but he goes out of bounds. He goes out of bounds into the Chiefs sideline and actually takes a seat on the bench next to Patrick Mahomes. The 2 richest players in the NFL have a laugh, and Mahomes puts his arm around Watson. So that was kind of cool. But 4th and 4, the Chiefs force Houston into a punt. Chris Collinsworth commented he thinks Bill O'Brien should have been aggressive there and gone for it with knowing the offense you're going up against. Like, you're going to need points. You're going to need your drives to end in points. 4th and 4 at the 50-yard line. It is tempting to go for it there. I'm not opposed to that. I just think it may be a little too early. Lots of football left. And the Texans defense so far had done okay, only allowing 7 points. Bill O'Brien might have been thinking, we saw last year in the divisional round that, when the Texans faked a punt on 4th down in that game, and that helped feed the Chiefs' comeback, gave them momentum, not converting that 4th down fake punt. So the question for Houston and Bill O'Brien is, are they being too aggressive or not aggressive enough? And in my opinion, it's a fine line between the two. So I don't have a problem with them punting there, but it is worth a thought to think about going for it on 4th and 4 from the 50. Then Chiefs guard Kelechi Osemele brings the toughness and physicality to the Chiefs' run game early on, moving defenders, creating running lanes. Osemele, really an MVP of this game. Chiefs could be a lot more balanced in 2020. And, in this game, it was really nice to see. They seem to be establishing the run game quite a bit early on in this one, which is not Kansas City Chiefs like. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Darrell Williams getting a lot of touches. And you were really seeing Kelechi Osemele make a lot of plays. Mahomes' pass to Tyreek Hill is inaccurate, probably some route confusion, and nearly leads to a Texans interception by safety Eric Murray, unable to make the diving catch. I said it live, you have to make those plays. Mahomes isn't going to give you many chances to pick him off. So if you get your hands on a Mahomes pass, you better catch it. Eric Murray unable to catch this one. Chris Collinsworth again raving about Kelechi Osemele's work in the run game. Says he's responsible for a handful of plays made already. And it's very obvious to me that the Chiefs are trying to set the tone in the trenches of this game by running the ball consistently, get Clyde Edwards-Helaire going. But something we haven't seen from the Chiefs is a dominant run game. And, people are saying that the Chiefs, don't need a run game and that Andy Reid doesn't need to run the ball to be successful, since they're the defending champs. But it's very interesting to me that they win the championship, and what do they do the next offseason? In the first round, they take a running back. So obviously, running back is something that was on Andy Reid's mind. And with them setting the tone in the trenches and establishing the run early in this game, I hope Matt Nagy was watching this one, because my Bears could use a little bit of the same mentality going forward. Collinsworth talking about Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy not getting a head coaching job this offseason. I said that on the podcast as well, that it blew my mind that he wasn't given a head coaching opportunity after last season. Bieniemy said it could have been a blessing, though, saying, could you imagine being a first-year head coach with this offseason and these circumstances? There would be a lot of pressure, a lot of uncertainty with that. So I can agree with that. And I do think Eric Bieniemy will get his opportunity at the end of this year for sure. In 2019, going back to the running game, in 2019 the Chiefs became the first team in NFL history to win a Super Bowl while averaging under 25 carries per game. So what side of the coin does this land on? Does that point to this historical fact that running game wins championships? Or does it point, with the Chiefs being the only one? Or does it point to a fact that today's NFL, you don't need to run the ball nearly as much? I side with the run game, and I believe Kansas City does as well if they're willing to go draft a running back in the first round. I believe they saw it as an obvious need. So, they had Kareem Hunt. That didn't work out. They were using Damian Williams, to be honest. Damian Williams easily could have been the Super Bowl MVP. And now you go and draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So, you see what they're doing. Even the teams that everyone believes don't need to run the ball at all, they still go and get running backs. So, you know what they say. Texans defense playing two safeties deep, attempting to take away the pass and force the Chiefs to grind the ball down the field. The only problem is the run game is working and they are grinding the ball down the field. The Chiefs, with a 2-1 time of possession advantage in the second quarter of this one, wearing the Houston defense down, and that's what establishing the run does. I've heard some people make the comparison like, teams with the lead run the ball, teams that are behind pass the ball. It's not that simple. And you see it by watching this game. The Chiefs came out running the ball. They didn't throw to take the lead and then start running the ball. They came out running the ball, establishing the run, establishing time of possession advantage, shit like that, trying to wear the Chiefs defense down, or the Texans defense down, and then you take your shots. So it's not black and white, run the ball. It's effective in the NFL still to this day. Chiefs wide receiver Sammy Watkins appears to have a touchdown catch, but is ruled down just short of the goal line. Turns out to be a good call as his elbow goes down before the ball crosses the goal line. 2 plays later, Watkins ends up getting the touchdown that he thought he had in the first place. Catches a screen pass, and this time gets in. Chiefs go up 14-7. This is the longest touchdown drive of Pat Mahomes' young career. And adding a running game threat really makes him in this offense nearly impossible to stop. The Texans get the ball with 2:22 left in the first half. And I commented while watching this game, right here, that this is a key possession for Houston. They absolutely need at least 3 points here, if not 7, to carry momentum into the half and to keep the score close. 3 points is at the absolute worst, because the Chiefs get the ball to start the second half and are very good at coming out and extending the lead. So points before half are always crucial to momentum carried over into the second half. Plus, with the Chiefs still having all 3 timeouts left, if they get the ball back with any time left on the clock, they could go score before half. So that's what I was worried about. I wanted the Texans, go get at least 3, if not 7, and keep the score close. It's very obvious throughout this game that the Texans have no deep threat without DeAndre Hopkins. When he was on the team, he would take the attention of the entire defense, and everyone's focusing on D-Hop, and that opens up opportunities for Kenny Stills, Will Fuller, that. But without D-Hop, they're able to focus on those other receivers. Chiefs rookie corner L'Jarius Sneed got the start, and the Texans were wanting to pick on him early, but he was actually holding up pretty well in the first half. Bats away a pass intended for Brandon Cooks. Running back David Johnson appearing to be Deshaun Watson's safety blanket out of the backfield. Johnson showing effectiveness in both the running game and the pass catching, just like we talked about previewing this game. The key for David Johnson is going to be long-term health. He's had an issue with that, since 2016, staying on the field, and that's what he's got to prove here in Houston that he can do. Defensive tackle Chris Jones continues to beat guard Zach Fulton consistently and is getting shots on Watson and disrupting the pocket, leading to incompletions. # worth the money. You saw it in week 1. Chris Jones is a disruptor at the line and hard to block, and he was beating up Zach Fulton the entire game. Texans tight end Jordan Atkins makes a nice move, catches a ball, ducks under the tackle of Chiefs linebacker Ben Neiman, breaks tackles, and picks up 20 yards into Houston field goal range with time still on the clock. The problem is, once they got there, they couldn't do anything more. Chiefs pass rush, again getting pressure on Watson, forcing an incomplete pass on a check down on 3rd and 10, and defensive tackle Derek Nottie with the pressure. So another incompletion on a deep pass versus excellent Chief coverage forces the Texans into a 51-yard field goal attempt with 30 seconds left in the half. So, it's a long field goal, but based on last year, Ka'imi Fairbairn can come in and make this and get some points before the half and cut the lead to 4. Instead, Ka'imi Fairbairn's kick misses wide right, wasn't very close at all, and the Texans fail to score before the half and give the ball to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense near midfield with 25 seconds left and 3 timeouts. This is why having a reliable kicker is so important, because this will end up being a 6-point swing, all due to 1 missed field goal attempt. Because if Fairbairn makes that, the Chiefs don't get it at midfield, and the Texans kick it deep. And with 25 seconds, 20 seconds, more likely the Chiefs are just going to kneel on it and go to the half. Instead, this is what Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, is what makes him the best. Is finishing halves and games with clutch throws to come away with points in the final seconds. 2 completions later, and in my opinion, a BS horse collar flag, and the Chiefs are in very makeable field goal range. I hate the horse collar penalty because the original rule, if you remember, going back to Terrell Owens and the Eagles, was to stop players from grabbing the inside of the collar and using it to make a tackle from the back, which injured Terrell Owens. It's like when a player is running away from you, you reach out, grab the middle of the back of the collar, and pull back, and that's how Terrell Owens got his leg hurt. Instead, now the rule has been adjusted to you don't even have to get in that collar. You just have to be up high by the nameplate, which the Texans defender Cunningham was here. He wasn't even in the collar. He was just up by the nameplate and to the side over by the shoulder pad. Pulled down Travis Kelce while he's getting stiff-armed in the face. All up in the face mask, he's getting stiff-armed, so he's just grabbing whatever he can, trying to pull him down. I don't understand what the defensive player is supposed to do here. He's got a hand in his face. He's just trying to get him down. He doesn't reach inside the collar. He's got just grip of the jersey. That's all he's got, by the nameplate and the shoulder pad, and pulling him down. I think it's a ridiculous call. And in my opinion, tackling rules in the NFL are so one-sided in the offense's favor. It's ridiculous, in my opinion, and I don't know how these defenders do it. So I don't like that call or that rule, if that's the rule. They did have I forget his name, but the NFL former referee official on NBC came on and said it doesn't have to be in the collar, just up high by the nameplate like that. BS call. I don't like the rule. If that's the rule, I don't like the rule. So after the penalty, Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker sneaks in a 29-yard field goal past the left upright, and the Chiefs take a double-digit 17-7 lead into halftime. Just as I predicted a 6-point swing here, and the Texans, it could have been a 4-point Chiefs lead and momentum. Instead, it's a 10-point Chiefs lead, and they have the momentum. Not to mention, the Chiefs get the ball to start the second half. So worst case scenario for Houston here, going into halftime down 10. So with the Chiefs getting the ball to start the second half, another thing Mahomes is so great at, Mahomes in this offense is thinking one thing: let's go get a touchdown drive right here and pretty much put this Texans team away, bury them down 17. Running behind guard Kelechi Osemele, rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire breaks off a 27-yard touchdown run to extend the Chiefs' lead to 24-7. A big missed tackle by Texans linebacker Benardrick McKinney, and worst case scenario for Houston, the 6-point swing before halftime, and then a 7 points immediately after. Now you're down 17 points on opening night. In my opinion, that was the drive of the game right there. A statement touchdown coming out after halftime. And the first drive after halftime, Edwards-Helaire, the rookie running back, already is over 100 yards rushing in his first career NFL game. Incredible. The Chiefs continue to get pressure on Watson. They force another punt on the Texans' first possession of the second half, and this game is already in danger of blowout territory. You're seeing it. The theme of the day is that the Texans can't block these Chiefs' pass rush. And that was the issue. It's been the issue since Deshaun Watson was drafted by this team, is their inability to protect him, give him time in the pocket, and just constantly get hit or unable to make accurate throws because of pressure all around him. The Texans' defense actually forces a punt, but still trails by 17 with less than 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Some injuries for the Chiefs. Out for the remainder of the game, they lose defensive tackle Kalen Saunders, defensive end Alex Okafor, and corner Charvarius Ward. And for the Texans, running back Duke Johnson was questionable to return with an ankle injury. Play of the game happens next. Chiefs star safety Tyrann Mathieu. Play of the game, getting to Deshaun Watson as he throws it, hits his arm. The hit floats the ball up in the air, and an easy interception for Chiefs rookie corner L'Jarius Sneed, who returns it to the Texans' 17-yard line. Backbreaker for the Texans, already down 17 points. And once again, safety Tyrann Mathieu, their star defender, making game-changing plays. It's no surprise to me at all that the play of the game was made by Tyrann Mathieu. Excellent play, and now it's really in danger of a blowout. On 4th and inches from the Houston 7-yard line, the Texans anticipate it, so the Chiefs decide to go for it on 4th and inches from the 7. They could easily kick the field goal here, but they decide to go for it. Mahomes, the Texans anticipate the play and are in position. Mahomes throws it into the end zone into triple coverage and gets intercepted by linebacker Benardrick McKinney, but the refs call a pass interference on the play. In my opinion, this is your typical bailout call. The flag is, if you watch the replay, the flag is thrown after the interception is made. No flag, play, interception comes down, then you see the flag get thrown. When you look on replay, there is a little bit of a hold, but in my opinion, it's definitely a bailout call. It's inexcusable for Mahomes throwing into triple coverage here. Should have never thrown it. Should have been a clean pick. To the ref's credit, Roby does hook the wide receiver a little bit, but if you are watching the play, he's never going to have a shot to make a play on this ball. He's not. There's 3 or 4 Texan defenders all right there. Who was this? Who was this receiver? Byron Pringle. So, first of all, it's a big mistake on the part of Bradley Roby. Why are you hooking Byron Pringle when all your defenders are right there? Let him make the throw into triple, quadruple coverage. Don't give the refs an excuse to throw a flag there. So Roby does make a mistake there, but it's a dumb penalty. And if the refs had any kind of, I would like to see if the refs had any kind of like perspective of what's going on and the score and everything. I would like to see them swallow their whistle here. The Texans made a great play. They predicted the play. They were in position. Mahomes is throwing it in the triple, quadruple coverage. Texans made a great play here. Let it go. Instead, they seem to see the interception, and it's easy to be like, oh, Mahomes, 4th and inches, throws an interception. The refs bail him out. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's not a good look in my opinion. 2 plays later on 3rd and goal from the 2, Mahomes finds wide receiver Tyreek Hill in the end zone, and the Chiefs extend the lead 31-7, and the blowout is in full effect. If they had not thrown the flag, it would have been a touchback. Texans ball at the 25, or maybe the 20, with down 17 instead of 24. I mean, this game really got out of hand here in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Deshaun Watson throw downfield, dropped by wide receiver Kenny Stills. Texans looking a lot more rusty than the Chiefs, and that's something you're going to see is that some teams are going to be rusty, some teams are going to be ready. And so week 1 is kind of your, who's more ready, and then as the season progresses, all the teams will kind of get into a rhythm, or they hope so anyways. I do think the Texans are, they're not as bad as they're getting blown out by. They're just a little rusty, I think. So, they got out to a slow start for sure. Watson then delivers a 19-yard touchdown pass to tight end Jordan Akins. And but to be honest, and I keep it, if the officials, I keep it across the board. If the officials are missing calls, I'm going to call it out. And I feel like a couple calls went against the Texans earlier on. This call goes in the Texans' favor, as they should have been called for a false start on guard Zach Fulton on the play and would have taken the 19-yard touchdown pass off the board. But the officials missed it, and the touchdown is good. 19-yard touchdown pass. 2-point conversion attempt is batted up in the air. The pass is batted up in the air and incomplete. So it's 31-13 Chiefs with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Big hit by Texans safety A.J. Moore to force an incompletion and a Chiefs punt with 5 minutes to go. Nice to see a good big hit, good clean big hit by A.J. Moore. And then finally, a Randall Cobb sighting with 3 minutes to go in the 4th. Randall Cobb catches a screen pass and goes for 17 yards and a first down. Deshaun Watson rushes for a 1-yard touchdown on an option play to cut the lead to 31-20 Chiefs with 2.5 minutes remaining in the game. Texans try an onside kick, but it's easily recovered by the Chiefs. And rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire not showing his... This is the type of running back he is. He's not afraid of contact. He's a hard runner, and he finishes with power. Despite his lack of size, he runs hard and looks to be a great up-and-coming NFL running back. Kicker Harrison Butker drills a 19-yarder with 30 seconds to go in the game, and the Chiefs beat the Texans 34-20 in Week 1 to start the year 1-0 and extend their win streak to 6 games. Texans fall to 0-1, and as you can tell, offensive line still an issue, and no longer having DeAndre Hopkins was an issue and something they're going to have to adjust to. So, the people that were not happy with the DeAndre Hopkins trade are, have reason to be unhappy again, because it's obviously going to take Watson and this offense a little bit of an adjustment time to move on from DeAndre Hopkins and not have that safety blanket number 1 wide receiver. Looking at stats, Patrick Mahomes 24 for 32 for 211 yards, 3 touchdowns and no picks, although it could have easily been 1 or 2 picks. But you know what they say. Rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire shows out in his first career NFL game with 25 carries for 138 yards and a touchdown. Future star. Really came to play in this one. Chiefs weapons Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce all catch touchdown passes in the game. Rookie corner L'Jarius Sneed records his first career interception. Star defensive tackle Chris Jones records 1.5 sacks. And kicker Harrison Butker 2 for 2 on field goals and 4 for 4 on extra points. For the Texans, Deshaun Watson combines for 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pass, 1 rush, and an interception. Running back David Johnson combines for 109 yards receiving and rushing and 1 touchdown. Wide receiver Will Fuller, 8 catches, 112 yards. Linebacker Jacob Martin records the team's only sack of the game. And kicker Kaimi Fairbairn, 0 for 1 on field goals and 2 for 2 on extra points. Big missed kick. Gotta have a reliable kicker nowadays. With points points are so valuable. So, looking ahead, week 2, the Chiefs will go to SoFi Stadium to take on the LA Chargers. Presumed starter is Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor for the Chargers. I expect the Chiefs to get out to a 2-0 start after that one. For the Texans, they host the Baltimore Ravens in week 2. A tough start for Houston at the Chiefs and at home against the Ravens. Most likely the 2 best teams in the AFC right off the bat. Ravens coming in, that one's going to be tough. It's going to be the Texans are going to have to play a great game to avoid an 0-2 start. And so then they're going to really feel the pressure from the fans and from media if they get out to an 0-2 start without D-Hop. So that's going to be a narrative that you're going to hear all season long if you're a Texans fan. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll have many more of these coming all season long. This is only the first game of the year. I'm so excited to have football back. A great first game. A lot of fun to watch it. Nice to see the fans in attendance. And hope you guys enjoy this one. And have a good one, guys. Peace out.